What up, you weirdos? Fever here. How's everyone doing today? I'm sure you're fully aware of the Exotic Kiosk in the tower that came out with Beyond Light. If not, hey, there's an Exotic Kiosk in the tower. The reason I bring this up is because a subscriber had a fantastic idea to cover the exotics in the kiosk. But like most things in my life, I overthink everything. And now here we are 3 weeks later. I'm not going to tell you what exotics are the best because I'm sure everyone knows by now, especially with the amount of videos about them. Instead, I'm going to try to put builds together using these weapons. Some of these are well known in the community and others maybe not so much, but they're out there. I more or less just wanted to bring them to light again since nobody really talks about them anymore, because you can get pretty wild with some of these builds. Today we're going to look at the Devil's Ruin and Rat King. The reason I chose these two is because at the time of releasing this video, Banshee is selling the mod required for this build, so I recommend getting it. There's not much to it, but if you're a fan of sidearms like I am, then this will be fun. Starting off with the Devil's Ruin. The Devil's Ruin is a weird one, and if you watch my videos often, then you know it's perfect for me. Us? The exotic perk is called Close the Gap. Press and release the trigger to fire individual shots, and if you hold the trigger, it turns into a frickin' laser beam that does a ton of damage, which is great for unstoppables. What more can you ask for? It also has an intrinsic perk called Pyrogenesis, which despite what the description says, just means if you fully charge the laser beam, it'll give you the full damage even if there's only a few rounds in it. This thing isn't some DPS god or anything like that, but the burst damage is pretty potent. I've used it in Nightmare Hunts and Ordeal Nightfalls numerous times, and it's never let me down. Moving over to the Rat King. This is one of the OG weapons in Destiny 2, and I feel like it doesn't get enough love from the community. It's really good in PvE and PvP. The intrinsic perk on it is Vermin. Reloading immediately after a kill grants a brief period of invisibility. And the exotic perk is Rat Pack. This fully automatic weapon becomes stronger when nearby allies also have it equipped, and it stacks up to 6. It's a lot of fun running around with your friends and trying to do dumb stuff with it, like rage, trust me. Both these weapons pair well with snipers, or pretty much anything else for that matter. Alright, now the build I was talking about is very simple. It requires one main mod, which is Surprise Attack. I like to call it Sneak Attack, and I don't know why, it's just funny to me. Sneak Attack. Surprise Attack says, while charged with light, reloading or readying a sidearm will consume all stacks of charge with light, and convert them into stacks of major damage buff, which are used up as you damage combatants with a sidearm. When you have 1 stack of charge with light, you'll get 5 charged magazine rounds. 2 stacks, you'll get 10, and you get the idea. It does a considerable amount of bonus damage, enough to melt some majors with ease. Now, you can add on to this any way you want with other charged with light mods, but this one is the base of it all, assuming you have another mod to become charged with light in the first place. Which, in case you didn't know, the green charged with light mods are how you become charged with light, and the yellow mods consume the charged with light stacks. I personally like to pair this with other mods like Precision Charge, to become charged with light by using bows, hand cannons, or scout rifles. Supercharge for even more stacks of charge with light, High Energy Fire for more damage output, and of course Swift Charge, which gives you stacks of light for defeating multiple combatants with pulse rifles, SMGs, or sidearms. Swift Charge gives you stacks with the sidearm as you're consuming stacks, so it's a never-ending charge with light buffet, if that's even a thing. I also prefer the Precision Charge and Swift Charge mods because it gives me a good balance of short range with sidearms and medium range with scout rifles and pulse rifles. Now if you're using the Devil's Ruin, you can dump all those stacks in the laser beam and destroy champions, or just about anything else with it, depending on what level they are of course. The Rat King is solid on its own and doesn't receive as much benefit from the charge with light build, but it's still fun to use. This mod works with any sidearm, but today it's all about the kiosk weapons. Like I said earlier, you can get pretty creative with some of these charged with light builds, and start adding exotic armor pieces into the mix, like the Mechaner's Trick Sleeves from the Hunter. But don't take my word for it, go try it for yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, but more importantly, just be a good person to one another and have a fantastic day.